Section 11.6 Systems of Nonlinear equations. So it's not going to be, there's going to be two equations and two unknowns, but it's not going to be only x and y, but there might be x squared or only y squared or both x squared and y squared within the same problem. So we're going to see how to solve this kind of equations. Most of the time we use elimination method to solve. So let's look at an example where only one of them for now is a square. Say y equals x squared plus 1 and y equals 4x plus 1. So you can substitute maybe this y in there. That will give us x squared plus 1 is 4x plus 1. The first main thing to know for this kind of equations, always when you have quadratic equations, bring everything to one side and set it equals 0. So these cancel for each other. Subtract 4x on both sides. So that gives us x squared minus 4x equals 0. Then we can factor x out. X minus 4 equals 0. That gives us x equals 0 or x equals 4. But notice y is 4x plus 1. So to find the y, 4x plus 1, y would be 0 plus 1, 1. Or y would be 4 times 4 plus 1, 16 plus 1, 17. So we got two solutions. When x is 0, y 1, and when x is 4, y 17. I'm not going to check it for you, but you should, in the second degree equations or system of equations, you must check the answer. See if it satisfies both equations or not. Sometimes you end with what we call extraneous solutions. So it's very important to check the final answers. What about now if we look at another equate or system of equations, say x squared plus y squared, where both x and y are squares, and y equals 3x minus 5. Let's see how we solve such equation or system of equations. So for this kind of system, we substituted again the same way as we did in the previous example. We substituted the y in there. 3x minus 5 square equals 5. Then x squared plus, we're going to expand this just to recall a minus b squared. The formula says a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Okay. So 9x squared minus 30x plus 25. Combine like terms, and notice it's a second degree polynomial or equation, so we must subtract 5 on both sides. That gives us 10x squared minus 30x plus 20 equals to 0. And what we can do here, we can actually divide everything by 10, so it makes it easier. As you can see, equals to 0. Then we can factor x minus 2, x minus 1. We get x equals 2 and x equals 1. So when x is 2, we see the y is 3x minus 5. Y equals 3x minus 5. So for this one, y would be 3 times 2 minus 5. And for the other one is 3 times 1 minus 5. So y is 6 minus 5, y is 1. Y equals 3 minus 5, y equals negative 2. So 2, 1, and 1, negative 2. Okay, so that's what we got for solutions. And as I said earlier, always check out the answers by substituting these back into the original equation. Substituting that back into the original equation. Now let's look at a different example. Let's say they give us x squared plus y squared is 8. And x squared plus y squared plus 4y is 0. So what do we need to do here? There's no like y equals something to substitute it in. Then elimination is the second option to think about. Elimination. So how do I apply elimination to this? We can multiply, let's say the top by negative 1. That will give us negative x squared minus y squared equals negative 8. and this stays the same, x squared plus y squared plus 4y equals to 0. This cancels, so you get 4y equals negative 8, so y equals negative 2. That's y. But it's not done, I still need to find the x. So I can go to the first equation, x squared plus y squared is 8. X squared plus negative 2 squared equals 8. That's x squared plus 4 equals 8. X squared is 4. What is x? It's not 2. Plus or minus 2. Plus or minus 2. So 2 comma, the y value was negative 2. And there's another one, negative 2 comma negative 2. So it has two values for x, positive 2 and negative 2. And again, it would be really important to check the answers. Really important to check the answers. So if we check the answers out, let's check the answers out. I'm gonna rewrite the system again. Let's check the first one, 2, negative 2. Substitute x2, y negative 2 in the first one. 2 squared plus negative 2 squared. That's a 4 plus 4, 8. And for the second equation, plus 1 negative 2 squared plus 4 times x is 2. That equals 4 plus 4 plus 8. Oh, that doesn't equal 0. It should have equal to 0. So it doesn't work here. So this is not a solution. Doesn't mean we did anything wrong. It's just that's not a solution. Negative 2, 2. Check the second one. So if you substitute the first equation, is that going to give us 8? This is really 4 plus 4. Is that going to give us 8? 8 equals 8. Yes, it works. In the second equation, let's write it down first. Substitute negative 2 squared plus negative 2 squared plus 4 times negative 2. Is that equals to 0? 4 plus 4 minus 8. Is that equal to 0? 8 minus 8 equals to 0. Yes. 8 minus 8 equals 0. So that's what I need. So now I'm going to look at a different example. Let's say we have x squared minus xy plus or minus 2y squared equals 0, and xy plus x plus 6 equals 0. So now how do we solve a system like this? If you try elimination, it's not going to work out. Substitution will be really hard because you can't easily solve for x tens of y or y in terms of x. It would be a lot of work to do it this way. There's a smart way to do it here, and the key are the zeros on the right side. So let's look at the first equation. What we can do here, we can try to factor the left hand side. X minus 2y plus y, like this. If you try it, it works out. So there are two cases, x plus y is 0 or x minus 2y is 0. If you take x equals negative y or x equals 2y. It's not done. This is only give me a relation between x and y. Then I can substitute these back into the second equation. So xy plus x equal plus 6 equals 0. So try the first one, x equals negative y. So then replace x with negative y times y minus y plus 6 equals 0. Negative y squared minus y plus 6 equals 0. We can multiply everything by negative. So y squared plus y minus 6 equals to 0. Now it's easier to factor this. y plus 3 minus 2 equals to 0. So y equals negative 3 and y equals 2. Okay, we got that taken care of. That's x equals negative y. Also x equals 2y. So I'm going to substitute into the same equation. X equals 2y. So we have xy plus x plus 6 equals to 0. Double check, yes. X is 2y. So 2y times y plus x plus 6 equals to 0. Wait, x here is 2y. So we get 2y squared plus 2y plus 6 equals to 0. Divide everything by 2. Y squared plus y plus 3 equals to 0. Now this is not easy to factor, so we can try the quadratic formula. Negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4 times a times c over 2a. That gives us negative 1 plus or minus the square root of negative over 2. No real solutions to this one, so it can be done. No real solutions. So the only solutions we got are this. Y equals negative 3, y equals 3. So remember, x is negative y here. So then x would be 3 and x would be negative 2. So from here we get 2 points, 3, negative 3 and negative 2, 2. The sum of two numbers is 7. And the difference of their squares, difference of two squares, is 21. Find the numbers. So the two numbers, call them x and y. Call these numbers x and y. So let x and y be the numbers. So their sum, x plus y, is 7. The difference of two squares, so x squared minus y squared, is 21. We need to solve this system of equations. This system of equations. How do we solve such system of equations? Elimination is a good method. So from here we can solve for x by subtracting y on both sides. And now we're going to substitute into the second equation. Instead of x, I'm going to replace it with 7 minus y. Keep this the same, equals 21. Now we have to solve for the y's by expanding. This one here goes as using a minus b squared formula that I reviewed earlier. It's a squared minus 2 times a times b plus b squared, and keep the minus y squared here the same. So what do we get? 49 minus 14y plus y squared minus y squared is 21. This cancels out. So keep this the same. Subtract 49 on both sides. Negative 14y equals negative 28. So y is 2. We got y. Then we can substitute here. X is 7 minus y. 7 minus 2 is 5. 7 minus 2. So the solution would be 5 comma 2. And then again, as I said before, you can test it out and make sure it works. Make sure it works.